right, hello and welcome everyone to Trackalicious Sunday Round 3 here at Misano. It's going to be GT3s, and hope everyone's having a great night tonight. We have a lot of cars on track. We got 40 cars on track tonight. It's a packed up field, all GT3s. Very mixed. Currently, right now, our pole position is looking at a 133.5. We're just in practice right now with about a minute left. And waiting to get underway into qualifying. Hope everyone's doing great tonight. And as I get the desktop audio, there we are. Now you guys can hear the game. Currently just looking at Ollie Raza here in that lovely Honda, the Puerto Rico E-Racing Club Honda. Ricardo currently on a pretty decent flyer, about 133.9 is their fastest lap right now. About a 10th down. Is still practice though, plenty of time to be gained in between sessions. Currently, like I said before, Padberg is going to be taking that pole position for right now. Faluna right behind us. See cars inside of cars here on ACC. Gotta love it. Marlowe currently down in P3. Lamlin in P4. But keeping an eye on the action on track for right now as these drivers lap. Should be very interesting to see here as we are actually already going to go underway into qualifying just about. Got 4 minutes left here, max wait time. Drivers finishing their final lap here. Misano, a very tricky track. Actually, one of my favorites. I thoroughly enjoyed the first chicane here. Very difficult to get right indeed. As you see here, Sundar using all the track to his advantage. It's not, he's probably going to back out of this lap. But yeah, still. Lovely Kingfisher Ferrari there. See McNichol here on an AMG, or in the AMG, still on a flyer lap. Indelicato as well. That 222 McLaren. Not sure if they are going to be finishing their lap. Looks like they will be. 5/10 down currently. Indelicato is on their lap. The 137.2 is their current time. Looking to improve that a little bit here before qualifying, getting all the practice they can. We just will ride on board of him here as he rounds the final few corners, but to no avail as practice comes to a close, and we now hop into qualifying. And we're going to see our split 2 drivers go out on track. I think. Let me double check that. We got some Buckley fan in chat here. Gotta love it. Yes, it is split 2 going out first. Eric Gakassian in there. The 84 car leading the way, Ricky Scott. Always one of the first one out of the pits, it seems like. Very eager to get out on track, get those laps in, as they only do have 11 minutes to get qualifying in here, and with 40 cars on track, just about half of them, if not more, being in split 2. Be very interesting to see where they end up. Picardin in here, welcome. Hope you guys are having a great night tonight. As we're just currently getting into qualifying right now, joining us at a perfect time down the urinal straight, as I like to call it there, the Petronas urinal. I don't actually know what it's called, but for me, it is. And Ricky Scott here going to be coming into that heavy sweeping. I don't even know what to call it. Let's get the corner names up. Because I don't actually know the corner names on this track, and let's see if I can learn them. Oh. There's a reason I don't know them. Because I cannot pronounce them. That seems fair. Curva del Rico. Yeah, I don't know how to... We're just gonna have to not... Yeah, it is Italiano. Yes, very much so. I cannot pronounce those, and I'm not gonna try. But doesn't really matter here. Ricky Scott underway on his lap. Currently on a flyer. Let's jump on board with him as he comes into the heavy hairpin, heavy braking hairpin. This is going to be a hairpin that leads to another hairpin, but this other one is kind of awkward as you have to turn in as a double apex where you are aiming for essentially nothing on that first one, compromising your exit, and then getting the best exit you can onto the straight. Padberg in here, looking to take that pole position, I would imagine. Here, see Ricky Scott in that Nause Racing 84 McLaren. See where this lap ends up putting him, as this is not the longest lap. 133s is what we were seeing in the practice session. We'll see here as Ricky Scott is going to be coming across the line for pole position at a 136.0. Canotis behind that. Actually, I think going to be invalidating their lap. What doesn't add up? It is time to rumble. I think that adds up. Eric Gakassian taking second place, 2 seconds off the pace. Cruz there, going to be coming in about a couple tenths off the pace. Sapien as well. Oh, I didn't even see that. Yes, sorry, Volcar. Yes, my bad. Yeah, this is Mike. I didn't see that in chat. Sorry. Yes, Mike Nause here. I know I never introduced myself. I should do that more. Provolone, not quite sticking on that pole position. 300ths off the pace. That 82 Porsche putting in quite a good lap so far. And actually, Chris Rise there, who was in chat earlier, coming in and taking that pole position by 5/10 here. Lovely lap from him indeed. Let's jump on board here with Gelson Cruz. Gelson Cruz? Not sure. Pleasure is mine, Bacardin. I don't know why I try to combine your first and last name every stream name. Anyways, we're on board here with Cruz as he's hopefully not going to get held up here behind Padberg. I think Padberg, ooh, bit of a oversteer moment there in that dirty air. Volcardin, yes, that's what I want to say every single time. And actually in front of him, I don't think that is Padberg now that I think about it. Who is that? That's Masachero. Split one driver is going to be coming out on track here relatively soon. Actually, Cruz coming back into the pits, maybe to do a setup change here. Still plenty of time for him to set a lap. 15 minutes left in this qualifying. They have until about, I think it's till the 11-minute mark. Then the split one drivers will come out on track here. Like I said before, we actually have 41 drivers on the grid here tonight. I'm like 99% sure I'm dyslexic and my brain just wants to smash your name together, Vulcan. I don't know, it just does. It's every time I see it. But yeah, Volcardin, that's what my brain reads. We're on board here, not on board, but we're following along here with Elmer right now, currently in P8, 10th up on their lap. Going to be about halfway done with their lap here already. Once again, very short lap. Perfect. Vulcan. Thank you. This Nissan here, we see the grid very diverse. Looking at it, we have an Audi followed by a McLaren, and then a Porsche, then a Honda, then an AMG, then a Lexus, and then finally another Porsche. But we have a Nissan up there in P8, which is who we're on with right now. Elmer. Absolutely lapping that Nissan very quickly, and now we see another McLaren, Aaron Kuhn up there. Slams it onto pole position by 3/10. Very nice lap indeed. And hopefully here, Elmer, hopefully not getting held up in traffic too much. Looking like their pace did fall off around the final few corners there. Very unfortunate, but nonetheless, coming across the line for that improvement. That's going to put him, well, it improves him, but doesn't improve his position. Still about a second off the pace, and it looks like that's going to put an end to Elmer's qualifying. Still not the worst performance. A lot of drivers though out on laps right now. Kronotis and the BMW down here, one of 4 BMWs, at least in the split 2 field. We'll see here, coming across the line, where will this lap put Kronotis? Put him up to P10. Takes Elmer by a few tenths. Looks like that's going to be the hot spot here as Indelicato runs wide, and that's going to be an invalidation. Indelicato, very quick indeed, we've seen before, but not this time, invalidating. I do not think that they're going to have time to set another lap, unfortunately. Might have to settle for P14 at best there. And actually, it's not even going to be close to at best. We still have all of the split drivers to go. That is not the qualifying I think that Indelicato wanted to have, as he is going to return to the pits now. Andy Oak in the other BMW, fighting up there with Kronotis right now. Goes exact same time as Kronotis in that BMW. That is extremely impressive. 136.142 for both the 42 car here and the 19 car. Extremely close for that P10. Looking up here at Aaron Kuhn, who is also improving. Not by much, though. Granted, they don't need to improve by much, as currently they're sitting on that pole position. Not that comfortably. 600 or 6,000 hundredths, yes, off the pace. Provolone here, and actually that looks like that was not the best sector for Aaron. Looking like that's going to be a lap to forget about. And we should hear the split 1 drivers now coming out on track relatively soon as we come to that 11-minute mark. Should be any minute now as we see, yep, here they come indeed. Niall, what's up? Niall, you shouldn't be in chat right now. You got to get on track, brother. Niall Schletter. Very great racer here indeed. Happy to see you here tonight. Drivers finishing their lap here. Looking like no one is going to be contesting that pole position. Ricky Scott is going to be the closest one, I think. He has still few corners to go, has a bit of a moment right there. That's going to affect his time. This car wanting to step out. McLaren just not biting in that front end through the weird neck section. Not sure what to call that. But improving by 2/10 nonetheless. That will improve his position up to P3. Nice lap indeed. That's going to be the end of Ricky Scott's qualifying. He gets out of the way. And now we will see the split 1 drivers out on track. And it looks like they are going to get mixed up here with the split 2 drivers. Hopefully everyone staying out of each other's way. Currently, these drivers not on a lap yet. All of them on their out lap, but notice they are all very clumped up. You can see on that mini map. Everyone trying their best to get some space. If only a couple of them would just hit their brakes a little bit, they could find it. As there is plenty of space on the half of this track is empty right now, but all of the drivers condensing themselves basically into one little quarter of the track. I think it's I'm Not Jimmy here. Is he the first of the split 1 drivers? And we're gonna see a massive train, I would imagine, as the drivers are gonna be getting ready to round the final corner. This is not the way to start your lap. But queuing up, we see, and I think the 30 car is the front runner of the pack. Yeah, this is pretty, yes, the McDonald's drive-thru. No, exactly. It's basically a car park up in there. You can just see drivers are finding space for themselves, managing to work it out. You can hop on board here with Padberg, who's starting his lap. Using all the track there, diving into that chicane, trying not to hit those inside curbs. Very conservative on the second chicane, or the second part of the chicane there, as you can use quite a bit of curbs as well. Chooses not to. This is the very slow, patient sector. This is all about throttle management, being patient. You can't go full throttle till about now. Then you're flat out all the way down this straight into that very quick left-hander here. Going to be braking at the 100 meter, about 75 meter mark in a GT3 car. On that throttle as early as possible. Car wanting to step off the track. Just trying to get that front end to bite whatsoever. Same with this turn here. It's all about carrying the speed here onto the straight. It's the most important thing that you can do onto the urinal straight. It's going to be flat out all the way here through this kink. Through the curbs, and then it's going to be, once again, flat out through here until you get to that curbing on the right, and braking, car wanting to wiggle and step out all it can. Heavy braking into the final part here. Very composed from Padberg. Ooh, gets a little bit too much curbs there on the inside. And is going to carry all that speed onto the start-finish straight. Runs very wide. Hopefully that didn't invalidate their lap there. Comes across the line. Looks like that did actually invalidate their lap. And Padberg invalidating on the final corner. Absolutely hate to see it. Gage Gonzalez currently battling for that pole right now with Tyler Marlowe taking pole in that number 3 Audi. Nate Lamlin in P3 right now. A lot of drivers improving. 1:33.6 current pole position time, but drivers not far away from that indeed. We see pushing on here Gage Gonzalez. He wants to take that pole position for sure and is going to be pushing to the absolute limit. And he's going to be coming across the line. That's going to put him in pole position there, 1:33.4. Very nice lap. Marlowe, does he have anything to respond? Rivera, his teammate in the Puerto Rico e-racing club, puts in a time 2/10 off the pace there. Very, very nice lap from the Puerto Rico e-racing club members. Tyler Marlowe looking like he doesn't have a response to it just yet. Just starting his lap, though. Going to be improving quite a bit. Ollie Raza down in P4 in that 33 Honda. He's number 30, but repping 33. I would imagine showing that love from Max Verstappen, who won the championship, for anyone who doesn't know today. Sorry to spoil that, but it's not like it was much of a spoiler. We all knew it was going to happen at some point. But showing the love for Max in that Red Bull Honda. Ollie Raza looking to try to put it on pole as well here. It's going to be challenging for him, as these drivers in front actually have a lot of pace. Pole separated currently by 0.2 throughout, all the way down to P5. Onto the urinal straight. Ollie Raza looking very planted in that Honda. Very little wheel movement. We see there. Oh, okay, not so much little wheel movement. Okay, very on the throttle as early as possible. Sliding around, looking like he's milking a cow with that steering wheel. Coming around the penultimate corner now, and then the final. We see this final corner, so challenging, so easy to run wide and understeer onto that curbing. Can invalidate, and it looks like Ollie Raza actually did invalidate at some point. Or no, he did not. He just didn't improve. We see not too much improvements from the rest of the field. Track conditions should be getting better. Padberg here coming across the line for a P3. A lot of these drivers struggling to improve. We see Niall Schletter here, currently about 0.5 up on their lap. They're going to be rounding the final corner here. See where this puts them, currently in P13. This should improve them a good bit. Puts them up to P11. Good 3-place improvement there. We see Provolone having a lap. I know he's in the other split, but having a lap that holds up well with these split 1 drivers along with Ricky Scott. They're kind of getting sandwiched in here with the split 1 drivers. A bit further down we see I'm Not Jimmy. Not having the greatest qualifying here in my opinion. Definitely seen very nice results from I'm Not Jimmy. This in the 69 Aston Martin, not his best qualifying session. Misano might not be his favorite track. Who knows? I'm just speculating. Oxborough, a bit further down here. 0.2 down on their time. Got a bit of a lap to go. I think we should be here. Padberg is going to be down on his time just about, so it looks like he will not be improving too much. If he does, will not be by much. Actually, I take that back. He's going to be improving by about 0.2. Looks like he messed up that last sector last time. Very wiggly through the steering wheel, now that I remember. Using all the track on the exit, comes across the line. I think that's going to put him, up to P2. Not quite pole position. Tyler Marlowe did respond with a time. 133.8. 133.38. So very nice lap there from Tyler. Pole position is a battle right now. Scrap currently separated from P3 by less than 1/10. Rivera not far off either, and currently up on their time. A lot of these drivers looking to take that pole position, I think. And actually, Rivera having a bit of an error through that sector. Looking like he did lose a bit of time. Must have had a bit of a wiggle. I'm not sure. Currently a 1/10 down on their time. They were about a 1/10 up. This is going to be a challenging one to improve. Rivera will probably not get another lap, actually, as he is 40 seconds in the lap. It's a 1:33 lap, and there's 30 seconds left. Yeah, he will not be finishing a lap. Be 15 seconds after the checkered flag falls, so Ricardo Rivera has a lot of work to do here with the rest of this lap. Currently equal with his delta, but there's not many turns left. And jump on board with him here, coming through the high-speed right-hander into the other high-speed right-hander. Getting that card slowed down in time. Not enough improvement, though. Looking like he's going to be about even with his time still. Braking late into the final quarter on the accelerator, trying to get any speed that he can. Comes across the line. He is not going to improve. Goes even with his time. Ricardo Rivera going to have to settle for that P4. For now, at least, Ollie Raza, though, looking like he wants to take that position away from him. Tyler Marlowe fairly comfortably in pole position right now, but Ollie Raza currently 0.2 up on the delta and a 1/10 down from pole. If they keep this pace up, crossing the line. They have the pole position. No one else right now on a lap that is ready to challenge for that pole. Ollie Raza, only one willing, I don't know if it's the right word, the only one able to do so. We see using all the track there. All he has to do is keep his delta equal. And he actually scrubs off a bit of speed there. Karen is equal on his time. Will he be able to improve enough by the end here? Hello.
I just wanted to point out, which I'm sure you already have, that there's only 3/10 between the top 7 drivers, and how crazy that is.
Well, there's less than a tenth between the top 3.
I know, it's nuts. These guys are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think this could be a really fun race. Enjoy, everybody.
Oh, Mobius TV, this is Eric joining us. Just popping into the Discord saying hi. Eric Gakosian.
Hey, everyone.
Eric, get back to the race.
See ya.
Have fun. Popping in to point that out as, yeah, this is a very, very close field indeed. There is no doubting that. We'll see here. Hopefully this isn't too loud. Lovely. It's a bit quiet, a bit loud though. Whatever, doesn't matter. Do the grid rundown here. Way too loud. I don't know if I can get any quieter though. That'll do. So, starting in pole position, we got the number 3 Audi here of Tyler Marlowe. The very, I mean, I was going to say a very solid time, but the pole position separated by less than a tenth, as you saw, about half a tenth separating them. Padberg taking that P2. This is way too loud. I need to figure something out for this. Anyways, we'll just skip the music for now. Work on that later. Gage Gonzalez is going to be in P3. Let's see if we can get a better camera angle. There we go. Yeah, that's a pretty good camera angle there. Ricardo Rivera, the other Puerto Rican Esport Racing Club member, representing on the grid, down in P4, lining up next to his fellow teammate, Ollie Raza, representing that 33, well, number 30, representing the 33 livery, representing Max Verstappen, but driving as Ollie Raza here. Yeah, that was confusing. He's in P5. That's all that really matters. Faluna, not the best qualifying from them. Definitely have seen much better from them in the past. Down in P6, Nate Lamlin going to be in P7. Quinn Smith in P8. Will Collin down in P9. Christopher McNichol down in P10. Aaron Kuhn is going to be in P11. I'm Not Jimmy lining up next to him in the 69 Aston. Going to be in P12. Niall Schletter going to be down in P13. Once again, as well, not the best qualifying from him. Mike Burkov as well. In the Kingfisher Ferrari. Down. I always love to appreciate that livery just for a second. Very nice livery made by Jet Engelman, who's a bit further down the grid. We'll get to them. We have Bronson Turner here in P15. Andreas Mostachero down in P16. Then for second place, gifted sub to whoever hits McNichol. Okay. I'm going to pretend like I didn't see that. Provolone down in P17. Oxborough, P18. Eric Sundar in P19. Ricky Scott, P20. Jet Engelman, the maker of that Kingfisher. It's not aggressive, it's family. Taco Man's got some popcorn ready for some good racing. I hope so. This has got a packed up field. I still have plenty of drivers to go through, as I'm actually only halfway through the driver rundown. Currently on Jet Engelman, that Kingfisher Ferrari. Chris Rise going to be down in P22. Eric Miller, P23. Lackney, Spool, representing Max Verstappen as well. Going to be in P24. William Campbell down in P25. We have Jelson Cruz, P26. Demarcus Rogers going to be down in P27. Ricardo Sapien, P28. Professor Kenotis, P29. Andy Oak, P30. We have Aristofelion down in P31. I think serving a 10-second time penalty in both races is Aristofelion. They think there was one other penalty, I don't remember. Elmer going to be in starting down in P32. Jarek Snyder, P33. Buckley down in P34. I know we saw some Buckley love in the chat earlier. And Wolf down in P35. Steve Poe, P36. P37 for Indelicato. Varricosa down in P38. Eric Gakassian, P39. Sarah Stant, P40. And bringing up the back here, we have Guy Smelly in P41 in that 226 Honda. Plenty of drivers here tonight. It's going to be 2 races, 30 minutes, 1 mandatory pit stop, mandatory to take fuel, be a 25-second stop, but you're not required to take pits, and I do not think many drivers will be, if any. So we see these drivers now coming down the urinal straight. Going to be getting heat into their tires, some of them, others very content with their setup. Yes, Guy Smelly is going to be coming onto the urinal straight very soon. So let's just keep that in mind. I don't know what to make of that, but I'll let your brain fill in the blanks. As he now comes onto the urinal straight, Guy Smelly. Bit further up, well, quite a bit further up actually, about 20 cars forward here as these cars are now lining up 2 by 2, getting ready to go green here at Misano for this 30-minute race with 1 mandatory pit stop. Drivers eager to get underway, I would imagine. This is the GT3 Sunday Championship round 3. Get rid of this timing. This timing is not going to be any use. Get the deltas up as they're going to be coming on the start finish straight, getting ready to go green here. Noah's Ark formation there away. Great start from everybody up front, actually. All of them getting about equal. Not the quickest start because that was, I think that was Gage Gonzalez there under braking, almost collecting Rivera. Rivera making it out of it alive though. 3 wide here we see from Ali Raza. Ali Raza getting the best of that. Nate Lamlin and Faluna behind that challenging. We see lots of action behind Quinn Smith trying to go. We see a bit of contact there between, I think that was Ali Raza and Lamlin. It's going to push Ali Raza back a little bit, battling with Quinn Smith in that Lexus. Quinn Smith going to be trying to challenge. Ali Raza was very defensive. Going to be covering off that inside line, and we see moves from behind as well. McNichol in that AMG trying to go around the outside. Doesn't quite get it done yet. Is going to end up going onto the grass. McNichol now going to be under pressure from Will Collin. See if McNichol can manage to hold it. Almost making contact. Just about. No one thus far, though. Everyone clean. And now cars coming onto the urinal straight for the first time of many tonight in racing conditions. Up the field here, we have Padberg and Gage Gonzalez battling it out for P2. Padberg not quite getting that position just yet. Gage Gonzalez holding it off for right now. I know, Patty, I was trying to keep an eye on him. I was hoping. Oh, but we do see an incident. Cruz and Jet Engelman. Let's go back and see what happened there. As we're currently riding along with Cruz right now in the 777 Porsche. Jet on the inside in that Ferrari. I don't know what happened. Oh, because I didn't have my timer set up right. Fair enough. Eric Gakassian here side by side with Buckley. Buckley not going to be letting him by. Sarah Stant, though, trying to take advantage of it down the inside. Going to get the best of Eric. Eric going to have the inside for this next corner, though. Sarah not giving up, runs off the track. That's going to kill her momentum, unfortunately. Looking like she still, though, is going to go out of here. Eric Gakassian on the defensive line, currently squeezing Sarah onto the outside of the track. Sarah trying to take that alternate line. We see battling behind there from Aphelion, Cruz, and Poe and Wolf. See battling all around here. We see Cruz getting by Aphelion there. Aphelion not having any of it, fighting back. Lovely defense. Aphelion with that 10-second penalty at some point will have to serve that, but does not have to take that until they make their pit stop. A bit further up the field here, we see Sundar chasing down Oxborough. Sundar, an absolutely ruthless overtaker. He's going to try to go around the long way of turn 1. And he's going to have the inside line for the next corner. Looks like he makes that overtake stick with ease. And as well, Eric Miller catches Oxborough off guard there. Oxborough having to take the alt line. Eric Miller taking full advantage of that. Will Campbell is going to be trying to do that as well. First Aston is going to be I'm Not Jimmy down in P11 here. 69 Aston Martin. Almost getting rear-ended there by Niall Schletter. But up ahead, McNichol side by side with Faluna. Bit of contact. It's going to put McNichol off for the next corner. In fact, that's going to affect his momentum greatly coming onto the straight. We'll see here if I'm Not Jimmy, let's hop on board with him, can take advantage of this. He's going to have a front row seat to this action. Bit of contact, more shoving. McNichol. Oh, and side by side there, McNichol losing out, it looks like, to that Honda. Oh, taking a bit of an alternate line there. I'm Not Jimmy. Looks like that Aston is struggling for grip just a little bit. Coming into the first chicane, Niall Schletter chasing him down ruthlessly. And actually McNichol, oh no, it's not too late. Patty, you might have got what you wanted here. Let's go back and see what happened here as we're riding along with McNichol in the 632 AMG, and they just take that inside curb that I was talking about earlier in qualifying. You just cannot go too deep, unsettles the car, and now drops him all the way back down to P15 ahead of Chris Rise. Spinning runs in the fam. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. And running wide again, looking like must have put some unwanted heat into those tires. Those tires getting probably a bit more warm than Chris wanted. And we also have two Chris's here. We got Chris McNichol and Chris Rise. Yeah, no curbs in the Mercedes. No, I mean, it's GT4 maybe, GT3 not so much. And Chris McNichol struggling for pace ever since that Audi of Chris Rise. Going to be wanting to get by, and we actually see this pack getting longer and longer as McNichol holds them up. Turner ahead of that is battling with his teammate Aaron Kuhn. We'll jump back in the action there in a second. Actually, I want to jump back now. Mike Burkhoff going down the inside of Chris Rise for turn 1 here. Late on the brakes in that Ferrari. Gets the job done before the turn. Lovely overtake. Going to look ahead now to McNichol. Try to give him the hurry up. We'll see if he can. Mike Burkhoff, I think, with the pace there to do so. Be a little bit Faluna up ahead. Challenging Quinn Smith. Trying to take that switchback line. Not too much straight though here. As overtaking into this corner here. There's a very high speed right-hander. Very difficult to do so. He's going to try to go for the alternate line. Carry the speed onto the straight. Quinn Smith giving him the room. Faluna tucking into the slipstream there. Looking like they want to make a move. But will they be able to? They're a bit too far away right now. Very challenging once again into these sectors to make a move. Such high speed, so easy to make a mistake, but down the inside, trying to force Quinn Smith wide, and he does so onto the marbles. Faluna gets that overtake done. Biding his time, waiting patiently. That was an extremely clean overtake, and how basically a perfect example of how to do an overtake. You wait, force him into a mistake, and get it done in one shot. Indelicato with a yellow flag off the track, unfortunately. A little bit further up, we see Sapien chasing down Spool. We will see if Spool has the pace to keep Sapien behind him. Not sure he does, though. Sapien in that AMG. Been driving very strong recently. And coming into the very slow sector, going to be difficult to overtake there. But further back, we see Cruz trying to challenge a Felion. Felion holding off the field behind them. Running wide there. It's okay, though. This is not the worst sector. You don't get maximum punished for running wide in that sector, as it's very difficult to overtake. Very low-speed sector. It's where you can make up all the time. And up ahead, actually, we see Indelicato, I think. But also we see Cruz and Felion. Everyone's battling. We got battles everywhere. 41 drivers on the field right now. Well, 2 of them in the pits. 1 of them in the pits, actually. I think Buckley leaving the pits. Unfortunately, Jet Engelman looking like they retired early. Hate to see that. Side by side, though, Cruz and Poe, or that's Miller, excuse me, with an Eric Miller back marker. Not sure what happened there. Eric Miller have taken their pit already, and very far back. We got drivers taking their pit stop already. 10 minutes into this race. Not the longest race, I guess, is 30 minutes only. Provolone here, trying to defend from Campbell. Looks like he's actually struggling for pace a little bit, keeping up with Sundar. Sundar seeming fairly content behind Chris Rise. Chris Rise doing a good job so far, leading these guys in P15. Not leading them, but... Oh no, yellow flag from I'm Not Jimmy. Let's go back and see what happened there. As we see Niall Schletter, I think that is the other car potentially involved. Niall Schletter just giving him a little influence to go around. I'm Not Jimmy, unfortunately, getting a little tap. I'm Not Jimmy, though, quick to get his head down again. Gonna go right back at it, chasing down Turner. Hopefully we don't see too many drive-through penalties, as I'm seeing quite a few lap invalidations, which means drivers are going to be taking penalties if they keep that up. Whoa, I should have been up here. Padberg all over Tyler Marlowe. Marlowe still leading the field. Gage Gonzalez behind that, and Ricardo Rivera behind that as well. Ricardo Rivera looks fairly content, doesn't want to battle too much with Gage, their teammate. Padberg, though, not hesitant whatsoever to battle with Marlowe. Thinks he has the pace and wants to get by as soon as possible. Let's hop on board with him as we see Gage going to be tucking down the outside, going very defensive. Is Padberg extremely late on the brakes? Can he keep that other Honda behind him? He can for right now, as you see him getting tucked into the wing mirror. Onto the straight. Tyler trying to tuck out of that slipstream, trying to break the toe. Do anything he can at this point to defend. So the car wiggling. Gage Gonzalez trying to get a bit of an opportunity. We see, oh man, they're so close. Gage Gonzalez, let's hop back with him. Just the actual skill required to drive that close. And Gage Gonzalez comes into the pits. Probably a very smart move from him indeed, actually. Padberg left to hunt down Tyler Marlowe. That Honda all over that Audi, not giving an inch whatsoever. Can hop back a little bit, or we can hop back in a little bit here. Actually, I do want to see. We do have some side-by-side action here with Niall Schletter and Chris McNichol. I think that was Chris McNichol getting by. I'm not sure if they had another spin. I think that they were down in P15. If I'm not mistaken. Looks like their race has gone from bad to worse, unfortunately. Poe coming into the pits. Niall Schletter here, chasing down Chris. As you can see, getting very close indeed. Niall Schletter with that pace, it seems like, to get that overtake done. But can he get the overtake done, though? Coming on the start-finish straight. Doesn't look like he's close enough this time. Both of them having taken their pit stop, actually. I think that's what happened to their position. I don't think Chris had an incident. I think this is just where they are currently in the runnings after pits. I think that their position will balance out once others come in. Sapien trying to go down the inside there of Spool. Spool not having any of it, though. But Sapien not giving up. Takes that position from Spool. A very lovely overtake. And Ricardo Rivera in the pits. Gonna be coming out here soon. Padberg looking like they've fallen off the pace of Marlowe just a little bit. Maybe looking like they want to come into the pits at some point here. Cool down the tires. Maybe overworking them as he was in that slipstream very close for a very long time. That does work the brakes and the tires quite heavily. Coming a bit further back, Oxborough here in a very similar situation, it looks like, chasing down Campbell. But I'm not Jimmy here. Oh, well, because he's in the pits. That's why he's so close. Nate Lamlin looking like they actually are catching up a little bit to Padberg and Marlowe. Ollie Raza falling off the pace a bit. This top field settling into its positions, more or less. Padberg coming in now. And I think that is Ollie Raza behind him as well, coming into the pits. The drivers getting their pit stop done now. Jarek Snyder in that AMG right on the tail of Spool. Spool struggling massively for pace. Currently sitting out in P17, but seems like every time I switch to him, he's under threat. Got to stay hydrated. And coming into the pits there, Snyder is. We got a lot of drivers coming in, taking their stop. Most of the field in the front has now Tyler Marlowe, Nate Lamlin yet to, along with Faluna. Imagine they'll be coming in here fairly soon as we are over halfway into this race. A lot of these drivers getting that mandatory pit stop out of the way now. Mike Burkov here chasing down Turner. Got Ferrari on McLaren action here. We can jump on board with them. Love the sound of that Ferrari. Just watch him chase down Turner here. Both of them having made their pits. Down in P27 is Mike Burkov battling for that P26 position. See where this puts them now as they come by the pit straight. Gonna put them up to P20, actually, P19. So, them gaining their positions back after the pit phase, after pitting very early. See Mike Burkov here now down in P19, still chasing on Turner. And this section, like I said before, all about patience, just waiting to get on that throttle as much as you can. And Mike Burkov not with the greatest exit there, unfortunately. That Ferrari is fast, though. And I do not think Mike Burkov is going to be giving up anytime soon. And there's a yellow flag from Gage Gonzalez as it looks like he is disconnected. Car floating in midair. Gage Gonzalez was battling for the race lead at one point. Very unfortunate. Hopefully his internet comes back before the next race. It's very unfortunate. Luna here coming out of the pits. Carter Rivera, who was battling for the lead with Tyler Marlowe. We'll see here. Tyler's still yet to pit. Very interesting. We'll see if they come in this lap. Follow him with them. Still staying out. Waiting as long as they can. Interesting. Nate Lamlin following suit. Looks like they're on the same strategy, just about. Mike Burkov still chasing Turner. And it looks like he's got the opportunity he's been waiting for. Doesn't make anything of it, though, just yet. Gonna try to go for another move. Stays with him for now, but Provolone now on their tail. That number 82, Porsche, having caught up after these two battling for too long at this point. Mike Burkov wanting to get the hurry up on and get on with this race. Bit further back, Spool challenging Cruz. As they're about to come up on the back of this pack here of Buckley. Buckley chasing down Eric Gakassian right now. About a second off of him. And I want to hop up there with that Buckley and Cruz there as we see Cruz going down the inside. Buckley looking like they made a mistake. Gonna have the inside line for the next corner, but not. They are late enough on the brakes. Bit of contact. Getting the elbows out. Cruz trying to get by. Buckley not having any of it. Very nice racing indeed from them. Not too aggressive at all. Eric Gakassian holding them up for right now, though it seems like Buckley wanting to get a move on, but runs wide. Looks like he got caught up in that dirty air. That Audi struggling with that. The Audi, I know, is one to overheat their tires very quickly, especially on a track like this where there's a lot of getting on the power very early and higher speed corners. So the Audi may be struggling with tire wear at this point. That Porsche looking like they want to have an attack into turn one. Not going to make anything, though, just yet from it. Challenging again, we see Buckley running a bit wide. And actually, Eric Gakassian runs wide, loses all those positions. Just makes a mistake. I do kind of want to go back and see that, but I think I'm a little too late. Let's see here. I think we'll go right back to him. Yeah, just making the mistake off the track and then getting swamped by those three cars. Eric Gakassian, very unfortunate, self-inflicted error. Hate to see it, but nonetheless, got to get his head back down. Keep going. A bit further up here, I'm Not Jimmy on Jarek Snyder. Looking like he wants to get that move done soon, too. That Aston trying everything they can. Down the inside. They're going to have the outside corner for the next turn, but has Nose ahead right now, trying to carry that momentum all the way through, all the way off the track, stays on the outside, gonna keep going. I'm Not Jimmy trying to carry as much speed as he can, gonna run Snyder out of track, but not quite. Snyder keeps that momentum, and that's gonna put Ricky Scott in a great position to overtake I'm Not Jimmy, and even have a good opportunity here at Snyder. We'll see if he can make anything of it. Gets by I'm Not Jimmy, but I'm Not Jimmy, I think, actually not done yet. Gonna be late braking, keeps that position, almost making contact there as you see probably couldn't even have fit a leaf in between those two. I'm Not Jimmy holding that position for now. That did lose a second off of Snyder. And I'm Not Jimmy having to go defensive. Well, he's staying on the line, actually. Ricky Scott going on the attack, down the inside. Looking like he's going to make that overtake. But I'm Not Jimmy. He is not one to give up a position. Wow. Trying to challenge back once again. He runs wide, Ricky Scott, and loses a position to Elmer. Elmer in the Nissan, and to Andy Oak. Or I think that's Rogers. Excuse me. So Ricky Scott making a mistake after trying to capitalize off of one from I'm Not Jimmy. Losing a few positions there. Very nice driving from I'm Not Jimmy for sure. He's doing everything he needs to, challenging back and holding off that position. A bit further up, we have Provolone chasing down Turner here. Turner chasing down Mike Burkov. Provolone there trying to take that alternate line. Actually, maybe just running a bit wide. I think that looked like a bit of an error. So far, not seeing any drive-through penalties. Nate Lamlin still yet to pit. 5 minutes to go. Currently going to be lapping P14 here relatively soon, but needs to come into the pits. They are running out of time to do so. There's no pit window, but I think they are the only ones left on this track not to pit. Yellow flag from Indelicato. Looks like they just got a tire onto the grass there. Let's go back and see what happened there. As they're on their lonesome. Took the curbing a bit deep, running wide. Oh, the car just stepping out, having a massive bit of oversteer. Car turning and not stopping turning. It's very rare. I'm Not Jimmy as well. Making a mistake, I think. Let's go back and see what happened there. I'm Not Jimmy was battling here with that AMG and makes a bit of contact. The AMG not budging. That Aston getting shoved off. It's very, very unfortunate. Snyder and the AMG there. I think that maybe even didn't make contact on his end as his car stood. Well, didn't even move. So unfortunate. Little tiny touch of contact. We see a drive-through penalty there from Niall Schletter. I was worried about it earlier. I was hoping it wasn't going to happen, but Niall Schletter having to come into the pits again for a drive-through penalty. First one here tonight with 4 minutes left. Almost made it through the race without one. Still very easy to do so, and we see that is Chris McNichol there in the AMG running wide. Currently now under massive threat from Mike Burkov after that, and they're going to make a bit of contact coming onto the urinal straight. They might even go 3 wide here for a second. Camera angles are not great on this track, I will admit. Mike Burkov chasing down McNichol. McNichol doing what he can, and Lamlin still yet to pit. Nate, you got to pit, brother. Oh, and there's cars all coming into one another almost. Nate Lamlin in this traffic as well. The leader of this race coming into the pits now. I hope that didn't hamper them too much. We'll see. They were in first place before. Well, I think they were in third or second. I don't remember exactly. You see, I think that was Mike Burkov there coming out of the pits. Gonna join this action as well. Oh wait, we're riding on board with Mike Burkov. What am I talking about? That was someone else in a Ferrari. Sundar. Okay, that was Sundar. Mike Burkov not quite with the pace to catch Chris McNichol after Chris making that error. Looking like he does have the pace. Provolone still not making a move on Turner just yet. Bit further back, we have a big old train. We see Ricky Scott there trying to go down the inside of Rogers. I'm Not Jimmy as well in that scrap. Trying to get by any car he can at this point after making a bit of an error. and making a little tiny bit of contact with that car who's, well, we have two side-by-sides. Jarek Snyder up ahead, the one he made contact with on the outside. Ricky Scott on the inside. And they are now going to be battling each other once again. Rogers getting by Snyder. Very nice indeed. And we see Ricky Scott down the inside here of I'm Not Jimmy in that Aston. Going to be trying to carry that speed onto the straight. That Aston, though, has shown great straight line speed so far. Pulling away. He has the slipstream. That was the one thing that Ricky Scott there didn't have in that McLaren. But here we see side by side Rogers and Snyder. Snyder down the inside, almost making contact, very close, and almost making contact. They do make contact, and round goes Rogers, pirouetting. And then did he just get hit and spun back the right way? Let's go back and see that one again here. We see just a little unfortunate, and then there was contact behind with I'm Not Jimmy as well. And he does get a contact from that Porsche, putting him right way around. Guy Smelly having an error as well. Let's go back and see what happened here. It's too late. He already had his error. It was more than 15 seconds ago. Let's jump up, though, to the top of this field in a couple seconds when we come back in to the actual... There we are. As we see on the final lap, or they're about to start their final lap, Ricardo Rivera chasing down Tyler Marlowe. We'll stay with them for the rest of this race for now, barring anything crazy. There is still battling going on behind, but I think Rivera going to be doing anything he can. Marlowe with that very interesting pit strategy, waiting till, well, the last possible second to pit. Looks like it was the right strategy, though. Coming out still in the lead. Rivera chasing him down. Padberg behind that. Padberg with the fastest lap of a 133.2. Not many drivers even close to that. I guess Rivera with a 133.3, the only one even in the ballpark. There's no one else. A 133.6 is the closest after that. But I guess this just shows you lap time does not matter when you can't get by the person in front of you. And Rivera finding that out as Tyler Marlowe going defensive here. Only has one more lap to hang on to this lead. So far, he's done a great job of doing it. I think he just wanted to stay out as long as he can. That way he didn't have the pressure constantly of Rivera trying to force him into a mistake. And there's a mistake. Will Rivera be able to capitalize here? Not too many corners left. Only a couple corners. Rivera doing everything he can. He's going to try to take the long way around. It's going to be very, very challenging. Hopefully they don't make contact. They go for the switchback. It's going to be a photo finish just about. But Tyler Marlowe going to come across the line. Ricardo Rivera behind him and Padberg behind him. That was an extremely tight 1-2-3 finish. Behind that, Nate Lamlin going to be in P4. Not too far behind. Faluna, P5. Ollie Raza, P6. Quinn Smith going to be coming across the line right now with Ollie Raza, or that's Will Collin, excuse me, right behind them. For P8. Mastachero coming across in P9. Provolone, P10. And we see a lot of other drivers here coming across the line. We have Vericosa for P29, Spool P30, Cardo P31. We can bring up that now. Probably a little bit more useful. Still some drivers here yet to finish Poe. And I think the Indelicato going to be the last one to finish. A bit further back, started their lap later. And actually, I think there is still some action, it looks like, up here from Chris McNichol. Eric Gakassian is going to be rounding the final corner here. Very close. Yeah, TJ, it's a 41 car field today. I think we lost one driver so far. But yeah, 40 drivers currently. Provolone in chat in the race as well. Great driving from you. That was a very close race. I'll brake pedal short. That sucks. Falcon, thank you. And now we're just going to be waiting here to get into the next race. As we see here, track temp still all good and everything. But we're actually, are we still waiting on a car? Number 3 car coming across the line right now. Who is that? Who we outing? Oh, it's Tyler. No, he already finished. We're just waiting at this point. P2 in silver, Chris. Great job, Chris Rise. Getting P2 in silver. Provolone getting P1 in split 2. And I'm not sure how accurate. There we go. Those are the accurate positions. Marlowe, followed by Rivera, followed by Padberg here. What happened to Rivera's teammate? Where did Gage go?
Green light. Go, go, go.
I'm not seeing. Gage Gonzalez must have disconnected. I think that was the one driver we lost. Looking for them. I'm not seeing them, so. One of our front runners, unfortunately. Looking like they had to go. Now we're going to see these split 2 drivers coming onto track once again here. 47 car leading the way. Let's see who that is. That's Rogers. That's not Rogers. It's the 747 car leading the way. And, oh, we're in free practice. Okay, never mind. We got a 5-minute free practice session to chill out a little bit here. We will see. Might as well, while we're waiting, go through, well, yeah, I guess that's one issue with deliveries. Got cars inside of cars. Not the easiest. Pretty much everyone inside of someone else. Don't take that out of context. But with 3 minutes left in this free practice session, now's a good time to get a nice little hydration break as we're waiting. Take a nice drink of water. Oh, that sucks, Gage. Loss of power for Gage Gonzalez. Yeah, don't mind the phrasing. Don't mind it. That lovely Kingfisher Ferrari there. Ricky Scott here in the Nause Racing McLaren. 20 and the 84 car. Very nice livery. Hey, Pacific Northwest, thank you very much for joining us for that first race. Hope you had a decent race. Thanks for joining us, though. Much appreciated. Steve Poe here. Slightly Offensive Racing. I love the team name. Nice, very basic livery. White and red. Repping that Fanatec. Nonetheless, though, very nice. Eric Gossian in the Mission 22 Trackalicious car. Representative of Trackalicious, of course. Also repping that Box 3949. Love. Shout out to all the other communities involved with us tonight. Big thanks to everyone involved as well. Like I say, 949, Area 51, Area 50, yeah, 52, Area 52. Sorry if I'm messing that up. Olive drab, is that like a British racing green? Because honestly, I like... Or is that more like the military dark green? This is a very nice livery. I like this McLaren, the SR2 Stooch Racing McLaren. Not sure what that means, but Aaron Kuhn representing it, and I think there was another car on the grid representing it. Ah, military green. Okay, you're in the Marines. Well, thank you very much for your service. Happy to have you here tonight. Is Jag green a color? I don't know if I've ever heard of Jag green. Oh, thank you, Ando. Got Engelman, one of the only cars on track here. Number 5 car. Who's that? Eric. Of course it is. Oh, more pale and lighter. Okay. Your eyes. Fair enough. Fair enough. I've always pictured Jag green as well, silver. I can't picture a Jag any other color besides silver. A nice business silver. That way they can do my taxes or something when they go home. They drive a Jag. Yeah, BRG is standard color. It makes sense.
Green light. Go, go, go.
So, no silver Jags. They're British Jags. I can't do it. Not as good as Clarkson at it, obviously. Mainly because I don't drive a Jag. I wish I did. Definitely will not lie about that. You see cars now coming onto tracks. No Jags here tonight. We see the split 2 drivers coming out. Getting ready for the chaos. Ah, it's the boot. That's weird. Oh, you had a Jag? Okay, okay. 2004? Hell yeah. How often did you have to work on it? And how much did it cost when you did? We have the 141 Lexus here of Aphelion leading us out onto track. Ladies loved it. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter how expensive it was to maintain, how much gas it absolutely consumed, swallowed, guzzled, drank. Any word for it. I had no idea that Jag was owned by Ford. That's interesting. I didn't know that. But here we go. Jumping on board with Aphelion. Right on board with them for their first lap. Coming into the first chicane. Late braking. Not using all the curbing there. Using all the curbing, though, on the second part of the chicane. Bit of lag there. Car stepping out just a tiny bit. Coming into the slow sector. Once again, all about patience here. Very, very easy on the throttle there. Nice rotation. Very good. Car very planted throughout that sector. The Lexus looking, well, as planted as always. Trying to take a very defensive line. Could have used more of the outside on the curbing, I think, there. You go wide. I'll hop on board with one of the top runners as well after this to show you how they do it. But using all of the track. That's not a bad line. Carrying that speed onto the straight. Little bit of a step out on that steering wheel. It's going to affect the momentum onto the straight just a little bit. Remember, we were seeing 133s, mid 133s here before. Felion late on the brakes. Could have even been a little bit later, I think. Very late to get on the throttle. That's okay. Nice, very well composed. So far, car looking extremely planted, not having any wiggles whatsoever. This might, I think, Felion just setting a banker lap here mostly. Wanting to have one just to have a time. Going to be coming across the line at a 135.8. Oh, 136.2. So not the greatest time indeed. Just setting that banker lap. Behind that, DeMarcus Rogers getting held up a little bit, setting a 135.8. Might want to back off, give a little bit of room. But let's jump with... Who do I want to jump on with? I want to go with Ollie Raza. Where's he? He's in split 1, isn't he? Never mind. Chris Rise. That's who I want to go with. And where he's about to go into the sector. Ooh, a bit of a wiggle in that first sector. And he's slow. Okay, so he's on an outlap. Got it. Eric Miller be a good driver. Coming into that first sector here. On a push lap, it looks like. We'll see. I just want to show where he goes on the curbs. You see how he uses all the track on the exit here, and coming around this left-hander, he's going to be out onto the edge of that curbing, riding on it, braking as late as you can. I even ride a little bit further than that. I'm not sure. Maybe that's why I'm slow. Currently Provolone P1 right now, a 135.7. See, track conditions looking optimum. Track temp 26, or track temp 34 degrees, ambient 26. So conditions very optimal indeed. Provolone 3/10 down on his time. Coming into the final sector here. Cruz taking pole position. 0.05 up. Let's see here. Can Provolone, currently half a second up on their time. This is going to be a very good time indeed. Still plenty to improve, though, as I was saying before. 133s is what we're expecting by the end of qualifying from those split 1 drivers. There, Provolone coming across the line, taking pole. 135.3. Not a bad lap indeed. DeMarcus Rogers, who we saw earlier, held up a little bit behind that traffic. Now has clear air in front of them. About 0.5 up on their time. Currently 0.5 off the pace of pole position. Lost a lot of time through that sector. I don't think they carried the speed that they were looking for onto the straight here. Could have had a much better exit. Very nice, though. Very well composed through that final sector. Very fast in. We'll see if he can carry the speed out of there. Looks like he does manage to carry a good bit of the speed out. Maybe a little too fast and a little too late on the brakes there. But that's okay. Half a second up now. That's going to be a massive invalidation, unfortunately. Too late on the brakes into the final corner. That's also going to affect his lap for the next one. Going to be losing a bit of speed, but nonetheless. Rogers, actually, DeMarcus is going to be coming into the pits. Looks like that's going to be the end of his qualifying. Going to settle for best P7 in the class. Definitely not going to have time to go back out there and set another lap. Aaron Kuhn here, going to be crossing the line about half a second up on their time. We'll see where this puts them. I think this is going to put him all the way into pole position. 135.1. Provolone, Jason Provolone, taking that from him right away, though, dropping into the 134s. Finding that pace that he's been looking for. Gonna have one more lap to do it. Provolone gonna keep pushing on, it looks like. A bit further down, let's see here, we got Steve Poe. Currently not on the best lap. Eric Gakosian, 0.3 up on his lap. Currently sitting down in P15. If he finished the lap as it is right now at 0.3. looking like he would improve about 3 positions. Every 10th matters here. Going to be running very wide. That's going to be an invalidation from Eric Gagosian. He's going to stick with P15 for right now. Has time for another lap. Hopefully they have the tires to keep that up. Looks like they will keep pushing on. Chris Rise here. 5 tenths down from pole. And 6 tenths up on their delta. Still have plenty of lap to go to gain or lose time. So I think Chris Rise is looking to take that pole position. Aaron Kuhn as well, about 3 tenths up on theirs. It's going to be a battle here between Provolone, who actually, I think Provolone is going to lose out on their pole opportunity. They're down on their time. I think that Provolone's lap is going to get beaten here by Chris Rise and Aaron Kuhn, I would imagine. And Aaron Kuhn there, now coming across the line, taking that pole position, 134.6. And Chris Rise going to be wrapping around that second or final sector. Let's see here. Chris Rise, what happened to his lap? He's a second up. Well, he was having an amazing lap, but unfortunately, not improving. Having a bit of an error. I think he did get... I think he was actually scrubbing off that lap because he knows he can get a better lap than that. That car looks like it's rotating too much. Oh, yeah, okay. So unfortunately, not going to be a pole position there from Chris Rise. Had the opportunity, couldn't quite capitalize, put it on pole. We'll see here in a couple seconds. We should see the split 1 drivers getting ready to come out on track. 10 minutes left, or 11 minutes left in this qualifying here. Anyone crossing the line right now in split 2 will not have time to set another lap. Provolone here. 2 tenths up on their time. This is going to be a pole position lap if they can keep it up. I think they just lost quite a bit of speed, though. No. Coming through the final sector, they're even on their delta. 1 corner left to go, and they go down on their time. Unfortunate. Provolone not going to take that pole position. Not going to improve on this lap. Aaron Kuhn finishing his qualifying pole position for the split 2 drivers, followed up by Provolone, then Ricky Scott. All these drivers coming into the pits now. We will see, I think, the 888 car, Padberg, queuing up first. We see here 10 minutes left. I think we're going to see them peeling out onto track here, eager to do so. I think that was Ricardo Rivera. Split 1 drivers getting out on track. Cruz, though, actually, I think getting hampered. Oh, wait, no. Cruz definitely is not on a flying lap. I think he is finished his lap. I don't think we have any more split 2 drivers on an improvement lap. Everyone down on their time. Eric Miller, maybe, has a chance. Still a bit of lap to go. Equal on their delta. 29 car invalidating, 42 car equal on their delta. Chronotis up in P4 right now. The heck happened there? Chronotis going to be crossing the line, improving their time even more. That's going to put it in P3. That's P3 in class for Professor Chronotis. Where did this come from? Chronotis finding a new form. Cruz here, improving on their time quite a bit, and actually I think so. Cruz must be on a flyer. He must have got across the line in time to start the lap. Cruz is going to be battling for that P3 position as well. He doesn't mess up this corner, which he does, and runs wide and invalidates. It's going to be P5 in class for Cruz. That last corner being so tricky for so many drivers. But here we can now hop with Padberg. Let's jump on board with him as he attacks Misano for the qualifying 2 here. Round 3 at Misano for the Sunday GT3 League. See that back sector, a lot of yellow flags there as drivers are making space, but right now Padberg doesn't care about that whatsoever. Pushing on, and we'll see. This is mainly where I want to see it. How much curb does Padberg use? Padberg going, yeah, splitting all the way, putting that car on the center of that curbing. That is using all the track there, stretching it from curb to curb on entry and exit. Getting the most out of that car. 8/10 up on pole position right now. Padberg is absolutely flying. Me coming into the final sector. Car wanting to step out, getting that front end to bite. The rear dancing around, trying to keep it under control. Like I said before, it's like milking a cow through that sector, trying to keep that steering wheel under control. Eats the curbs. That might affect their time just a little bit, but I don't think so. Takes all the curbing on the inside, just the right amount on the exit. Gonna be coming across the line. This is gonna slam them onto pole position. 1:33.3. Amazing time there from Padberg. Faluna, a bit further back as well, on a very, very nice time. I think Faluna's looking to challenge for pole position right now. See where this puts them in the BMW here. 23 BMW gonna be coming across the line. Puts them in P2. About 4/10, 3/10, 3.5 off the pace. Padberg. Ali Raza down in P3. Masachero with a very nice lap. Currently sitting in P6, improving quite a bit. Provolone and Aaron Kuhn, though, holding on to their lap times for right now. A lot of the split 2 drivers struggling to get ahead of that, but a lot of them improving massively too. So we will see here. Will Collin, one to keep an eye on as well. About halfway through their lap. I'm going to be entering Sector 3 very soon. In that, not 33 car, in the 48 Honda, but representing that 33. Showing love for the new F1 World Champion. Whoa, massive, massive moment. That's not going to be helpful for Will's time. That car just floating around, that rear barely planted to the ground at that point. When you're under load in that corner, it's so easy to just make a mistake, and making a mistake is not correctable, pretty much. Will Collin coming across the line. P5 for right now. I think he has a bit more time, though, in him, especially after that mistake. Padberg holding pole still, 1:33.3. Not quite improving too much on their time. Padberg, or Faluna, wanting to take that pole still, yeah. Very much challenging, 10th down on their time. Got plenty of lap to go. We'll come back to them. Ali Raza here, I think also going to be challenging for that pole position. And I think they're going to put it on pole by a good margin if they can keep this lap up. But they have a lot of lap to go. Never mind. I was looking at the wrong part. Let's see here. Who is... Padberg is close to finishing a lap. All these drivers on one half of the track. There's 2 halves of a track. I know, it's surprising. Who'd have thought? There's 2 halves. But drivers not really caring about that and just wanting to get in each other's way as much as possible. Because that's how we do it here. Padberg not going to be improving on this time. Going to be wanting to go again here. 11 car of Lamlin, though. I think Nate Lamlin is going to stick it up onto pole position here. Not quite, actually. Puts it into P2, though. 1:33.5. Looks like they're going to be content with that, going back into the pits for right now for a little bit of a setup change. Probably going to come back on track. Padberg here carrying on 2/10 up on their time. Ali Raza must have invalidated their last lap, as they were having pretty decent of a lap, but okay. I'm not Jimmy here. 5/10 up on their time. This is going to put them into the low 143 or 134s. Coming across the line, this is going to up to P7. This field extremely close. Entire field spread currently separated by a second all the way up to P9. These drivers doing, and more drivers coming in the pits. Surprising, there's still plenty of time left in qualifying, so it'd be interesting to see them if they come back out on track. Nate Lamlin did come back out on track, so just making a setup change indeed. Will Collin here has the pace to challenge for the top steps, but not quite pole right now. In fact, scrubbing off, I think we'll see here as he comes into the sector. We'll see if he can correct that mistake that he made a couple laps ago. Currently equal on the Delta. Struggling with that sector a little bit. That was a pretty good entry, though. We'll see on this exit if they can carry the speed through that final corner and they invalidate. So many mistakes, bumping the guardrail. This track is extremely complicated, and you're seeing it here. A lot of drivers making mistakes, trying to push to the absolute limit. And yes, this field is tight. There is no denying that. All the way now up to P10, separated by a second. And then behind that, well, the rest of the field down to P23, separated by a second after that. Gage Gonzalez is back, everybody. They got their internet working. Awesome. And he's back in time to set a lap. Currently on a flyer. We'll stick with him for the rest of this one. See where this lap is going to put him. Coming across the line, Gage Gonzalez. Happy to see him back in this race after his internet cut out. P5 for right now. Got one more lap to improve. Still, very happy to see them back. That's awesome. Got the internet working again. Back to 40 drivers on the grid for tonight. Padberg here coming across the line. Going to improve on their time by a tiny bit. 1/10 down to 133.3. Low 133.3s. Nate Lamlin going to be the only one really to challenge that. Faluna maybe. It's going to be very tough. Faluna doesn't have much track left to go, but if they can get a good sector through here, they have a chance. Faluna gonna be, and Gage Gonzalez did return to the pit, so satisfied with their P5 time. Almost invalidating there, pushing it to the limit. 1/10 now, and I don't think this is gonna be an improvement too much. It is, though. Down to P2. That's right, I forgot how close this field is. So, a great lap from Faluna, putting him on P2. Ricardo Rivera, Gage Gonzalez's teammate here, currently in P6, looking to challenge for P2 as well. Maybe even P1. They need a stormer of a last corner, but I don't think they invalidated. The time's still on. Coming across the line, P2 for Ricardo Rivera. Faluna, I think, didn't cross the line in time. Ali Raza coming around the final corner now. 2/10 up on their time. This should put them up a good couple positions, up to about P6, I think. Yep, P6 for Ali Raza. And I think there's one driver left on a lap. Not sure if Faluna is or not. Marlowe, though, is on a lap currently. Tyler Marlowe, our previous pole position holder. Currently a 10th down on their lap, coming around the final sector. Not going to be much of an improvement. But it looks like Faluna did cross the line in time, I guess. I don't know why I thought they didn't. And this is going to be a pole position here for Faluna. Faluna waiting to the last possible car on track. Assuming they don't mess this up through the final corner, they don't. Keeping it under control, this is going to put them all the way up to pole position. Going to take Padberg for that P1. Faluna, lovely pole position. Storming by a 10th and a half. It's going to be a night race too. Misano night race here for the final race. 45-minute race tonight. One mandatory pit stop. Mandatory to take 25 seconds of fuel. tires, not mandatory. But let's do a quick grid rundown, shall we? This is probably the best camera, yep. Starting in P1 here. In fact, I'm going to take a quick drink before we do that. Okay. We got Fluna in the 23 BMW, P1. Got Jacob Padberg in P2, in the 888 Honda. P3, we got Ricardo Rivera. P4 is going to be Tyler Marlowe. In the number 3 Audi, Nate Lamlin behind him. In the P5, Ollie Rosa lining up next to them. In P6, Gage Gonzalez, who's back. Internet went out in the first race, unfortunately, had a DNF, but is now back. P7, didn't have much time in qualifying, but set one lap nonetheless. That's all he needed. Will Collin, P8. I'm Not Jimmy down here in P9. Once again, very nice qualifying indeed. Quinn Smith in the 999 Lexus. P10. Niall Schletter, P11. I feel like that's where he always qualifies. I don't know. Am I mistaken? Did he get P11 last one? Anyways, Chris McNichol here down in P12. Andreas Mastachero in P13. Aaron Kuhn, P14. Sundar, P15. Jet Engelman in that 747 Ferrari. Down in P16. Jason Provolone, P17. Mike Burkov, P18. Will Campbell, P19. Got Dalton Oxborough in P20. Professor Kenotis, P21. Ricky Scott, P22. Bronson Turner, P23. Gelson Cruz, I apologize. I'm probably mispronouncing that. In P24. Ricardo Sapien, P25. Chris Rise, P26. Not the greatest qualifying for Chris Rise. Eric Miller, P27. Andy Oak, P28. Spool, down in P29. Rogers, P30. Eric Gakassian, P31. Jarek Snyder, P32. Aphelion, down in P33. Wolf, P34. Poe, P35. Vericosa in P36. Indelicato, P37. Sarah Stant, P38. Smelly, down in P39. And Elmer in the Nissan, 22 Nissan, bringing up the back of the grid here. And that wraps up all 40 cars on the grid. First place for Split 2 was Aaron Kuhn. Second place for Split 2 was Jason Provolone. Professor Kenotis for P3 in the split. We have Brian Faluna, P1, Padberg, P2, and Ricardo Rivera, P3 for Split 1. The drivers now start up their cars, get ready to go underway here for the opening lap. A lot of these drivers are going to be eager to get underway. This 45-minute race, last race, very clean racing, and quite a bit of it. It'll be a little bit till all of these cars get going. All 40 cars on the grid. Get the relative times up now. Who needs the deltas? A lot of these drivers, though, going to be pretty pumped up from last race. We see a car stopped on track. Not sure what that's about. I think car getting a little out of position there. Gage Gonzalez looking to make a bit of a redemption this race after their internet disconnecting in the first one. It's a very unfortunate way to go out, but they're back, ready to make up some ground here. This isn't the most easy track to overtake, though, so we'll see how much ground Gage can make on the first lap. First lap going to be very important for him, but as we all know, you can't win a race on the first lap, but you definitely can lose it. So we'll see if Gage can keep a cool head or not, starting in P6. A lot of these drivers, though, like I said before, eager, I would imagine, to get underway here, and this especially Misano. I know not a lot of drivers' favorite track, especially at night, I would imagine. I got a feeling this is going to be a pretty exciting race. In the words of Fernando Alonso from this morning, well, this is going to be eventful. Padberg here, coming into the final sector. Luna leading the way. Rivera close behind. All these drivers going to be working their way now into the grid slot position. 2x2 Noah's Ark formation here, rounding the penultimate corner. We get ready to go green here in Italy at Misano for the final round. Well, for not in the final, for round 3. Final race of tonight. 45 minutes on the clock. 1 mandatory pit stop necessary to take some fuel. 25 seconds of it, not for tires. As we are getting ready here to go green here at Misano. Underway. Great start from the top 2. Looks like Rivera sleeping a little bit, but down the inside, manages to go late enough on the brakes, gets that position on Marlowe. Marlowe fighting back though. Let's jump back there. P1 and 2 getting a blistering start. Looks like everyone making it through that first chicane. Let's see a yellow flag in the back. Not quite. Actually, everyone making it handedly through. Lots of side-by-side action coming in this first sector. We're going to see a lot of cars thinning out. It's very difficult to go too wide here. But Gage Gonzalez and Tyler Marlowe do not really care. Gage Gonzalez wants to make up that ground, not making up any positions, unfortunately, on that first lap. Or not on the first few corners. We see a yellow flag, 820 car. It's Oxborough and Turner. Looks like Oxborough, Turner, and Niall Schletter, unfortunately, getting caught up in an incident. Not sure what happened there. Very unfortunate for the Niall Schletter fans in chat. All these drivers, though, nip and tuck right now, one after another. Going a bit further back, we see some side-by-side action. I think that's Jet Engelman challenging the likes of Professor Kenotis for P18. Backing out. Thinks better of it. Has a Felion right behind them. Felion down the inside. Runs. Well, Jet Engelman runs himself wide. Oh, and rejoining the track, makes contact with Professor Kenotis. Professor Kenotis luckily not budging. Felion getting 2 positions there. Running wide again, though. Looks like that might have been a track cut. Got to be watching for those drive-through penalties. Felion with a 10-second penalty. After, I think from last race, being penalized. Not sure for what. Jet Engelman, though, after making that mistake, looks like their pace struggling. Not sure if their tire pressures are off just a little bit. They're all over the track compared to Chronotis and Aphelion, though. And if you look at the top right, you can see Padberg pulling away by already 2 seconds from Ricardo Rivera. And I want to see down here, we see Gage Gonzalez losing out on a couple positions, but now side by side with Quinn Smith. Looks like Ollie Raza managing to get by Gage Gonzalez. Gage sticking with it, though, around the outside. Not giving an inch. Going to have the inside for the next corner. Oh, no, he won't. He's going to have the outside for the next corner. And then he's going to have the outside for the next 2 corners. So, yeah, he not going to be easy. Quinn Smith looking like he's getting that overtake done, but Gage Gonzalez not giving up. Behind that, Chris McNichol chasing down Will Collin. There's a bit of a snap of oversteer for Will Collin back there. Chris McNichol not making an opportunity up and then having a moment himself. Looks like I'm Not Jimmy gonna have a look, and there was a bit of contact. I don't think I'm Not Jimmy meant to do that, unfortunately, as you can see just the, unfortunateness in the way that he stops there. I don't think he meant to do that whatsoever. Yeah, just spins Chris McNichol around. Gets a little bit of a tap there from, I think that was, I'm not sure who that was. Was that Mastachero that was? And losing out on a position there, gaining a position and losing out on a position. So overall, nothing changing for him, but probably doesn't feel too great about that. I don't know what that noise was, but okay. Baluna chasing down Lamlin. Lamlin in that number 11 BMW. It's BMW on BMW action right now. Jump on board here, Faluna. Right behind. Those headlights illuminating that. Ooh! Faluna almost making contact there with Nate Lamlin. Luckily, they're skilled enough, both of them, to avoid that, though. Nate Lamlin doing a great job right now, defending. Looking like they actually seem fairly comfortable ahead of Faluna. Faluna wants to get by. Nate Lamlin on the defensive, but not really. He seems fairly comfortable just running his lines and not really doing anything too rash, losing any time. He's got Ricardo Rivera in his sights. I think he's fairly comfortable where he's sitting right now, and I think Faluna is as well. Gage Gonzalez, though, I don't think he's comfortable where he's sitting. Gonna be all over Quinn Smith after losing that position a little bit earlier to that 888 Lexus. Gage Gonzalez looking to make some redemption up after last race, disconnecting after his internet went out, unfortunately. Gonna be trying to take a look here down the inside. Thinks better of it, though. Goes for the switchback, and Gage gets by. Quinn Smith runs wide. Lovely switchback there, but Quinn Smith gonna try to challenge back. Late on the brakes, there's gonna be a little bit of contact. Both the drivers, though, coming off all right so far. We see it's gonna be side-by-side action onto the straight. Honda power versus Lexus power. Both Japanese cars here battling it out with a Honda right behind them as well. Quinn Smith holding off for right now. But I don't know how long Quinn Smith has it in him to hold this. Gage absolutely ruthless around the outside, trying every corner, going for a switchback. Gonna try to take the long way around the final corner there. Carries the speed all the way onto the curbing off the track. Gets that overtake done. We see a stop-go 30 from Andy Oak. Track limits already becoming a factor for some drivers. And actually, Quinn Smith still trying to hold on to that position. But Gage, I don't think Gage is going to give that up. And massive moment for Quinn Smith, which has, in turn, Will Collin in a moment, and then Mastachero behind them having a moment. Let's hop on board here. I want to go on board with Will Collin just to see what happened there. We're currently on board with Will Collin as we see Quinn Smith. Oh, just a very unfortunate, massive change of speed. I'm not Jimmy. Rear ending, it's just, you know, that's what can happen when you're racing that close. Kind of puts an end to that battle, more or less. Quinn Smith, though, still going to be chasing down Gage Gonzalez, but I don't think he's going to be trying too hard right now to get by. A bit further back, we see Aaron Kuhn battling with Quinn Smith's teammate, Eric Miller, in that 117 Lexus. We see a drive-through penalty for Aphelion. More track limits getting the best of drivers. Very surprising, track limits wasn't too much of a factor last race, especially this early on. There's still 37 minutes left to go in this race, and we've already seen a couple drive-throughs. Aaron Kuhn all over, and we see there Eric Miller running wide. This is going to be an easy overtake, I think, for Aaron Kuhn. Should be. But Eric Miller not giving up. Aaron Kuhn trying to carry around the outside. There's a bit of contact. Luckily, that McLaren staying planted. Easily could have spun right there. Losing out a little bit of time, but could have been much worse. Oh, and a bit of a moment. That car for Eric Miller stepping out, front end, not biting in that first chicane. I think that's going to give a decent gain here to Aaron Kuhn come this braking zone. It does. Aaron Kuhn closing up nicely. Can't do much in this sector. Has to bide his time and wait, but has closed that gap up, and now is going to have a decent opportunity coming back onto the urinal straight here. Not yet. After this next set of corners. Gonna look at this one to probably close that gap up even more. We'll see here. struggling to do so. Eric Miller driving very well. Takes an alternate line, takes that fast line to carry the speed onto the track, and I think we're about to see this Lexus walk away from this McLaren here on this straight. McLaren does have the slipstream. I think that's the only thing keeping Aaron Kuhn in this. But yeah, Eric Miller pulling away quite handedly on that straight, getting a much better exit. That McLaren very planted in the corners though. Eric Miller with the advantage on the straights, and Aaron Kuhn with the advantage in the corners, but these corners are not easy to overtake on. It's much easier to overtake on the straight, and we have chaos up here. Lap traffic all around. Lamlin getting overtaken by Faluna, I think that was. Hold up. I need to go back. Nate Lamlin is behind Faluna. Okay, well, that was pointless to go back. We got a follow here from Flat Spin Gaming. Thank you very much. Hope everyone's having a great night tonight. Watching some exciting racing here. See one after another cars right now. Gage Gonzalez back in P7. Did manage to get by Quinn Smith, but struggling to keep up with Ollie Raza for now. Ollie Raza right behind Cruz. Going to get that lap. We're currently dealing with lap traffic. Cruz haven't taken their pit stop already. Ollie Raza yet to. Down the inside goes Ollie Raza. Looks like Cruz isn't going to fight that. Lifts off very nicely, and Faluna almost collects Cruz right behind that. That was very close. And that's Snyder. That's not Faluna. Excuse me. Just both of them with the black livery. Snyder almost collecting. And actually, that's a battle for position with Snyder and Cruz. Yellow flag from Ricky Scott. Ricky Scott going slow. Something's wrong. What happened? Let's go back and find out. All on his lonesome here. Takes the curbs. That car pirouetting. And, well, he started turning right, and it just didn't stop. And that's going to hopefully he didn't get too much of a penalty. I see that's why he had to slow down so much, was to not gain an advantage. And he gets disqualified. Ricky Scott, for cutting the track, gets disqualified from the second race. That's really unfortunate. You absolutely hate to see it. Making a slight mistake. This game, very brutal sometimes with its penalties. But looking a bit back down, we see split 2 driver battling with a split 1 driver here. Provolone and Mostachero. Currently on that part of the track where we saw the very unfortunate Ricky Scott get disqualified. And actually, that wasn't that part of the track. Now that this track looks the same at night. Every corner looks the same. Mostachero with very good pace right now. Currently sitting in P10, pulling ahead of Provolone. Bit back, we got Campbell here chasing down McNichol. Getting very close to that 15-minute mark. Maybe we'll start seeing some pit stops here soon. And I think actually we see, yep, Sarah Stant coming into the pits with a stop go 30, unfortunately. Oh, no. So drive-through penalties are rampant this race. Provolone there coming into the pits, I think that was. Not sure, that looked like, yeah, it was. 82 Porsche coming into the pits, getting their stop done. Yellow flag from Rogers. And Smelly, I unfortunately didn't catch that one. Oh, just clips the curb and goes straight on. Forgets that there's a middle pedal. You do gotta brake to slow down for a corner typically. It helps. But it's okay, sometimes people forget that. Smelly there. No idea what happened. Yeah, that was a bit ridiculous. I saw that one. We were on board with you for that. Yeah, I unfortunately, I got no words for that one. That was not the way you want to go out of a race. You were driving so well up to that point, too. Ricky Scott, that is in chat here, rightfully pissed at the game. That wasn't... Yeah, that wasn't exactly cool. But nonetheless, though, great driving from you tonight in qualifying and in race. Aaron Kuhn making a mistake, and Lackney Spool as well. Drivers, let's see here. Let's go back and see what happened. Was there a bit of contact? Nope. Running wide onto the curbs. He just loses, and McLaren pirouetting pretty much does the exact same thing that Ricky Scott does, more or less. And doesn't get disqualified. So, yeah. Not sure what that was about, but Gage Gonzalez chasing down Ollie Raza around the outside, trying to take that long way, sets up the switchback, gonna try to go around the outside again. Ollie Raza defending very nicely. But I don't think Gage is gonna give up here. Honda on Honda action, 30 and 13 car, side by side here. Gage gonna have the inside line. I think we're gonna see the switchback attempt from Ollie Raza, but not quite. Ollie Raza going deep into that corner. That's going to cancel off the momentum. We see Chris Rise, or is that Smelly, getting out of the way. Not sure who that was getting out of the way. Gage Gonzalez, though, sealing that position up very handedly. Yeah, I can see it. Seems like a lot of drivers are struggling. 17-degree track temp right now. Optimum track, allegedly. But drivers very much struggling here. We see the teammates of Turner and Kuhn down here, one after another. We'll see if there's any team orders in play here. Turner, the white plate, split one driver behind the split two driver of Aaron Kuhn. Coming down the start-finish straight. They look fairly content where they're at, but we'll see if any team orders come into play. I would imagine they would have already, though. Not too much action further down. A lot of drivers trying to just survive right now. Seems like up ahead, though. Quite a bit of action. I'm Not Jimmy chasing down Quinn Smith. Gage Gonzalez getting pressured by Ollie Raza. Sundar McNichol battling. In fact, let's check out that Sundar McNichol battle. McNichol closing heavily on Sundar. Mike Burkov ahead of that. So we see the two Kingfisher Ferraris here leading the Vetch Motorsports? Vetch? Of Christopher McNichol here. 632 Mercedes. Running wide there is Sundar. That's going to give McNichol the opportunity. Coming around the final corner here, or penultimate corner. Going to be trying to set up around the final corner. I saw you slowing down, Ricky. I was wondering. I was like, yeah, I don't know. Like I say, I don't know. I got no words for that one. Cruz with a drive-through penalty. Track limits coming into play even more. Chris McNichol almost looking like he's struggling for grip. Whoa, that Kingfisher Ferrari there going very late on the brakes, or Mike Burkov, I think, going early on the brakes. And I don't think Sundar was expecting that. Sundar defending the wheels off of that Ferrari. Probably wants Mike Burkov to get the hurry up on right now. And we see down the inside here, Chris McNichol. Sundar not giving him any room, and there's contact. I got to put that on Sundar. Sundar squeezing Chris. Let's go back and see that one again from a different angle, maybe. I think this is the best angle, though. Yeah, Sundar just not giving the racing room there. Chris McNichol, in my opinion, titled to that line. We'll see what the stewards say. I'm not a steward, so my say is not final whatsoever. But unfortunate for Chris McNichol there, in my opinion. Sundar taking that advantage, but Chris closing right back up. Definitely has that pace. Sundar with the clear air now. Mike Burkov pulling that 2.4 second gap after that bit of contact. Back a bit further though. Let's see, Turner still has not gotten by Aaron Kuhn. Aaron Kuhn has caught up to Poe. Steve Poe, I think it was. Yep, Steve Poe, perfect. I did remember. And Eric Miller holding him up. Smelly with a disqualification. Oh no. This is a mess. We're only like 20 minutes into this race. What happened? Not even halfway in yet, and we have 2 disqualifications, plenty of drive-throughs. I guess it's just that night. Gage Gonzalez and Tyler Marlowe. Actually, I want to go back here and see what just happened. I think, yeah. I'm not sure who was ahead initially to begin with here, but I think Gage Gonzalez pressuring Tyler Marlowe had a really good opportunity down the straight, but had to back out of it, it looks like. Didn't have that speed. Comes into the pits now, making their mandatory pit stop. Probably see quite a few drivers doing that here fairly soon, I would imagine. Chris McNichols still chasing down Sundar. Might be advantageous for Chris to come into the pits here. Try to get that clear air, as it is fairly clear that he has the pace on Sundar, and he does come into the pits. So, Chris McNichol having the stream open on the other monitor, I guess, and listening to me, or just doing the right strategy, which is my opinion. Lots of position changes right now. We see yellow flag. Eric Akasi and Sarah Stant. Uh-oh. What happened here? Let's go back and find out. Sarah Stant just plows into Eric. I didn't see how much room Eric had left Sarah on the inside there. It looked like she had enough room. Could be wrong. Only caught a glimpse of that one, but unfortunate bit of contact. Turner chasing down Miller. Not making much ground up. But Tyler Marlowe and Lamlin, though. This is the one. I think Marlowe has shown really good pace thus far in all the races and qualifying sessions, and has let's go back. I want to go back and see that one. Let's see if we can catch that. We're coming around the final corner here. Let's see that steering wheel input as he goes deep on the go. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yeah. Almost losing the rear end there of that number 3 Audi was Tyler Marlowe, but very nice save. That car, very difficult to save. When it goes, it typically goes. So that was quite the recovery, I would say. Sapien here chasing down Chronotis. Will Collin with a drive-through. We see this AMG all over the BMW here. I think Sapien going to be wanting to get this overtake done sooner than later. Showing superior pace right now, lapping at a 135.5. Chronotis at a 135.9. So has the pace over him for right now. Chronotis runs deep there. That's going to compromise the line. Coming on to the next turn. We'll see if Sapien doesn't take the most aggressive line there, trying to carry a lot of speed. I don't think that's going to work for him just yet. With that slipstream, though, we'll see. It's probably just going to close up. We see a yellow flag from Gage Gonzalez. Uh-oh, he stopped on track. I think we see another internet issue from Gage. You hate to see it. That one, you really hate to see it. Gage Gonzalez driving a very solid race, but both races having internet disconnections. Puerto Rico E-Racing Club. Only being represented by Rivera now. Rivera down in P6. So, unfortunate. Turner, though, getting by Miller there. I didn't really count. That was just a pretty clean overtake. See Sundar in P5, who was battling with McNichol. McNichol down here in P19 after coming out of the pits. Cars making their stops all around. Tyler Marlowe here still chasing down Lamlin. Lamlin not giving up. I know. Falcon, I know. It sucks. Gage, though. Just not the most solid internet tonight. It happens. That's the unfortunate reality of sim racing. Real life happens sometimes, and what the heck? I think Tyler Marlowe was so focused on the bumper there of Nate Lamlin that he almost followed him into the pits, but thought better of it. As you see, yeah, right there, he thinks about it. He's like, "Oh, is that the racing line? No, that isn't the racing line, Tyler. That is the pit straight." Quinn Smith there with Sarah, or I think that's Cronotis, coming out in front of him. Sarah Stant right behind. Drivers now with 20 minutes left, a lot of them making their pit stop. Reiterate, it is a 25-second stop to add fuel. Doesn't matter how much fuel you add. It is not required to take tires, but if you do, that'll be an extra 5 seconds. I don't think we're going to see too many drivers taking tires here, as 45-minute race, not the most wear in that time. Misano, more of a heavy wear circuit, but still, at that time, the cars should be able to hold. And Tyler Marlowe with a drive-through penalty. If that can happen to Tyler Marlowe, that can happen to anyone. Having to serve that, that's going to essentially ruin his chance for the top steps. Marlowe going to be absolutely devastated and running wide there again. Doesn't take the drive-through just yet. Wants to stay out for a while, but you hate to see it. Padberg chasing down Gage, or Rivera. Rest in peace, Gage. Or rest in peace, his internet. We started with 41 drivers here. We're down to 34. Not the greatest, but, you know, it happens. Some drivers, unfortunately, getting disqualified for no reason. Some drivers disconnecting. It happens. It's all part of video games, unfortunately. But whoa, here we go. Side-by-side action with Chris Rise and Will Collin. Both of them having made their pit stop. See Chris Rise round the outside, does the hard work. Or Will Collin, excuse me, doing the hard work to get by Chris Rise there. Padberg now still chasing Rivera. Rivera pushing to the limit, as you see a little bit of a step out from the front end. Stop go 30 from Faluna. Speeding in the pit lane, I would imagine that was. Penalties all around for this top pack. Penalties all around for everybody, but especially people in the top pack. Poe here chasing down Turner. Turner, who was showing really good pace earlier, struggling a little bit now. Running wide there does Turner. It's going to give Poe a good opportunity to close that gap up. Running wide again. This might give Poe an opportunity for the overtake, in fact. No, he backs out. Thinks better of it. Yep, going for the switchback, maybe. Going to try to take the inside line for the final corner, but he's just going to be patient and wait his time. He has 15 minutes to get that overtake done. Invalidating around the final corner, though. These guys need to watch out. I think a lot of drivers here getting close to a drive-through penalty. I see a lot of red lap times. It's a red lap time, which you guys can't see, but meaning that they have invalidated. And Sundar behind that, currently sitting in P3. Oh, he did pit. I was going to say he's probably going to pit here soon, but he did. I'm blind. Tyler Marlowe leading this race with a drive-through penalty right now, still has to make a pit, so actually has to make 2 pit stops still in this race with 15 minutes to go. Has to do it, I think, this lap. If not, they will be disqualified. Caught up in traffic. I don't think they're going to mind making a pit stop this lap, but they wish they were making their mandatory one, not the one that's just going to be clearing a penalty off of their record. And in the pits he comes to serve that drive-through. Padberg and Rivera still going at it. Round the outside goes Padberg. Rivera covering it off, though. On to the urinal straight here. Honda on Honda. Neither one with too much of an advantage. Padberg with the slipstream, though. Not making much of it just yet. Mike Burkhoff with a yellow flag into the barrier. And into the barrier again. Onto track. Hopefully he doesn't get collected. Looks like he's in a fairly safe location. I don't think he will. Let's go back and see what happened here. As you see, it looks like he just runs wide, rejoining the track, and has a moment on rejoin. Hits the barrier twice. Goes all the way across the track and hits the barrier. You hate to see it from Mike Burkhoff. He was having a really good race up until that point. Now, with extreme amounts of damage, I would imagine. Let's take a look. Yeah, that Ferrari definitely having seen better days. Having met the barrier 3 times. Not going to necessarily pass in the wind tunnel, I would imagine. Here we see Eric Miller getting chased down by Steve Poe. And Eric Miller chasing down Turner as well, but I think he has bigger problems to worry about right now, where Poe pressuring him very heavily. I think he needs to make a move on to Turner if he wants to keep this defense up. He needs to go offensive to be defensive in this case. But the more he waits, the further he falls behind from Turner, and the less likely that is. Poe staying with him this whole time pretty much. Making that Aston look like it's on rails, honestly. He's driving that car very well. Takes the maximum amount of curb and still doesn't even care. Going through the crawling sector, sector 1 here. Not going to be an overtake attempt just yet. Bit further up, Nate Lamlin. All over Ollie Raza. I don't know why I thought that was going to be a disaster right there. Down the start-finish straight, though. Mike Burkhoff in the pits after that collision with the barrier. 10 minutes left to go. Probably the smart thing to do, but that's going to drop his race down to, well, pretty much in the last positions. Now, Sleddar down in P8. Interesting. Still yet to pit. Mostachero has pit. But with a really, actually, he has a pretty good gap. Looks like he will probably come out ahead of Mostachero. Looking at it from a strategy point of view. Faluna here, down in P16, chasing down Aaron Kuhn. A lot of drivers struggling to get this overtake done. They all have the pace. It seems like they're faster than the drivers in front of them, but there's just not many overtaking opportunities. Track getting very clogged up. It's going to be traffic around almost every corner, it seems like. Cruz there, getting by Snyder. Snyder looking like they ran wide Pretty clockwork overtake from Cruz. Might as well go back and check that one out, see what happened. So we see Cruz in behind, yep. That's Snyder running wide there, and Cruz just taking that position like taking candy from a baby. Nice and easy. Aaron Kuhn here pressuring Faluna. Did Faluna get by? I think Faluna did get by Aaron Kuhn. Can I go back and see that? Around the outside, deep into the corner. Yeah. Nice overtake. I think Faluna getting that one done. See if he has the pace to pull ahead of Aaron. 10 minutes left to go. Nate Lamlin here, side by side. Not giving almost any room there to Ollie Raza. Nonetheless, though, enough room not to make contact. Just enough, I should say. Nate Lamlin with that pace. We see Rogers with another drive-through penalty. Lamlin lapping about 0.5 a lap faster than Ollie Raza and still cannot get that overtake done. Half a second faster and still struggling. I think Nate Lamlin is going to be getting impatient. Ollie Raza, what happened there? Looked like Ollie Raza got scared and got out of the way almost. I want to hop on board with Ollie Raza for this one. Coming around, did he just brake a little too late? Braking at the car stepping out. Just the car just not biting. Front end not wanting to bite. Carrying just a little bit too much speed through that sector. Pushing slightly too hard. So Ollie Raza. Where did Lamb? Okay, there we go. Lamlin. Quinn Smith in the pits. Coming out of the pits now. Bit further back here, we see Faluna, Sapien, I think Faluna and Sapien battling out. I think Faluna just got by. We see more drive-thrus. Drive-thrus for Sundar. Drive-thru for Aphelion. Drivers really struggling to keep it on the track right now, it seems. Go ahead and just bring up this screen here so we can get a quick little look to see just at what the positions are looking like there. Padberg currently sitting in P1, Rivera P2, Lamlin P3, and then leading the split two drivers currently is Chronotis, followed by Provolone, followed by Sapien. And Sundar looking like they're going to be coming into the pits this lap, taking their drive through. A bit further down we see Aphelion with the drive through as well. Sarah Stant currently in last place. Here we see Aaron Kuhn chasing down Sapien. I think Sapien managing to get the best of him for a little bit, but Aaron Kuhn seems like Aaron Kuhn actually has the pace. Massively over it. Sapien looking like he made a massive error last lap, running a 137, 2 seconds slower than Aaron Kuhn's 135. So we'll see if he can manage to get it done here. Pushing along. That AMG, though, with that top speed, that McLaren is going to be struggling to get by on the straights. AMG, very fast. You see 85 car, yellow flag. Jarek Snyder. Looks like they did make contact with a barrier. That bonnet scoop doesn't look fully attached, and unfortunately missed it. I think they went into that gravel trap in the back, behind there. Unfortunate. Yeah. Chris Rise here, chasing down Wolf. Drive-through from Cruz. How many more drive-throughs are we going to see before the end of this race? I have no idea. Aaron Kuhn, he wants to get this done. Sapien, he knows he has the pace over him, but he just does not quite have the ability to get it done just yet. They were both lapping exactly the same lap times last lap, and we see there Sapien with a bit of a mistake. Gives Aaron Kuhn an opportunity. Down the inside, Aaron Kuhn's going to send it late on the brakes. That McLaren gripping up nicely. And he's going to try to close that gap. That AMG, though, crawling back. He's going to have the inside corner, but way late on the brakes there. Sapien gives up that position. Aaron Kuhn seals it. Lovely overtake there from Aaron Kuhn. Cruz coming out of the pits after serving that drive-through penalty. Top of the field, separated quite a bit. Padberg with a yellow flag. No, why did I say anything? What just happened? I was literally about to go to Padberg. Oh, with lap traffic. You hate to see it. Trying to let him by nicely. I'm not sure who that was in the Lexus. I think that was, let's see, it wasn't a Felion. It might have been Eric Miller. I think it was Eric Miller. Drive-through penalty from Schletter. Just got that. But Padberg losing that first place there, unfortunately, with a bit of lap traffic. Bit of a collision there. Ricardo Rivera now passing a Felion for that lap traffic. Taking the lead. Rivera representing the Puerto Rico Esports Racing Club. Gage Gonzalez unfortunately disconnecting his teammate due to internet issues. Let's see here. Jumping down to Poe, I want to see. Poe chasing down Eric Miller. I think it was Eric Miller that made that contact. Could be wrong. Steve Poe in that slightly offensive racing car. Has a really good run on Eric Miller. Looks like Eric Miller stepping out on the exit too. This is going to give the Aston a great opportunity on the straight. We'll see. The Lexus straight line speed though, looking very dominant. Sundar after that drive-through penalty coming out. I think he was down in P10, coming out in P18 unfortunately after that. Then I think who was the other victim of the drive-through penalty? I think it was, I don't remember. Yeah, anyways, here we see Stephen Poe chasing down this Lexus, but Eric Miller doing a great job defending. Absolutely keeping that Lexus planted on the straights. Not driving too defensively, not losing too much time. And Steve Poe just can't quite find the window. And we see this looks like this is going to be one of the best opportunities here for Steve Poe. Tucks down the inside. Looks like there's almost a bit of contact. Eric Miller, though, running wide. Steve Poe gets that position sealed. Lovely overtake. Bit further back, Faluna here. All over Chronotis. I think Faluna was the one with that pit stop there with the drive-through. That's right. Chronotis, massive bit of oversteer in that second, or in the second part of that turn. Faluna gets by with ease. Capitalizing on that mistake very nicely. These two scrapping it out. I'm not sure if Steve Poe has the pace on Eric Miller to pull away. These two running very similar lap times. Steve Poe, the 136.9. Eric Miller with the 137.4 last time, but I think Eric Miller definitely has the pace. Both of their lap times, fastest laps, 135.9 for Poe, 135.8 for Eric. So, we'll see. I don't know. I think Eric has the pace. He just needs to find it.
Okay, the leader is on the final lap now. Give it all you can.
And we see Rivera coming on to the final lap here. Going to be rounding Misano one more time tonight for round 3 of the Trackalicious Sunday League. Once again, thanks everyone for joining. Love to give a big shout out to 949 Box 3. Always, and Area 52, any community as well. If you guys want to give a shout out to your community that you're in, feel free to in the chat. We love all of the sim racing communities out there. Cronotis with a drive-through penalty. Mostachero with a drive-through penalty as we actually watched that happen with our eyes. Well, I don't know what else we would watch it with, to be fair. Mostachero, unfortunately, gonna have to take that drive-through penalty on the final lap. That might actually end up in a disqualification. I'm not sure. They might have wanted to take it as soon as they could have. I don't know, though. We'll see. Quinn Smith under pressure from I'm Not Jimmy. Looking like this is going to be one of the final battles on track for tonight. Actually, yeah, Professor Cronotis making his stop. I'm Not Jimmy. Pressuring. Leader right now, Ricardo Rivera. Going to be rounding the final corner here. Come across the line to seal that P1 after Padberg making a bit of a mistake in lap traffic. Not that that was his fault or anyone's fault, really. It was just a bit of a racing incident. Padberg taking P2. And, oh, massive impact into the barrier. But that was a good one. Lamlin for P3. Ollie Raza can be coming across the start-finish line right now. P4. Quinn Smith is going to hold that position from I'm Not Jimmy, it looks like. I'm Not Jimmy, not quite with the pace to get him. Settles for P5. I'm Not Jimmy for P6. Marlowe going to be down, coming across the line here, or rounding the penultimate corner for P7. The Evil James, thank you very much for the follow. Marlowe coming across the line with Mostachero right behind, but Mostachero, I think, is going to have a 30-second penalty. Okay, that's how that's going to work. McNichol coming across the line. That's going to drop Mostachero back a lot, actually. Probably behind Faluna, even. Faluna going to be coming across the line here. Not the greatest race from them. Unfortunate that they had a drive-through penalty. Not a bad recovery drive, though. P10 overall. Flashing their lights. Seem like they're happy with the result. Turner is going to finish off the track almost, but hey, coming across the line, it's all that matters. Provolone right behind him. Side by side. What the heck? Oh, that's okay. This is after. And Eric Miller and Sundar. What the heck happened here on the final corner? Hold on. We see Sundar. Oh, just absolutely murdering Eric. And then the Honda coming through. I think that was Will Collin? No? Who was that? Not sure who that was, but man. That was a good race. See here if we can get some people from the race into the Discord here. If anyone's the top 3 are in chat, that'd be sick. I don't know why there's... Okay. Okay, I see. It looks like Eric is working on that currently. So we should see them here. And actually, we got Padberg. Padberg.
Hi.
How's it going?
Not good.
Yeah. It happens. You want to elaborate on it?
I just went. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically, he was letting me through, and I braked late, expecting that he wouldn't. So I was trying to get past him as soon as possible, but then I just got oversteer and just spun, and then he tapped me in the back, worsening it. So
yeah, that looked like just a bit of a racing incident, unfortunately. But nonetheless, still you got a P2, so can't be too mad.
Yeah.
But you definitely had that P1 sealed pretty much up until that moment.
Yeah, it's just racing. Shit happens.
Yep. And Rivera, the one who benefited from that, though, representing the Puerto Rican e-racing. There we go. Club.
E-racing club.
Yep.
Yeah, perfect.
And covering for Gage. Rest in peace, Gage. After his internet died both
Gage.
races.
No, I think he got a power outage on the first race and second race. I think he just got some incidents and he quit.
Oh man, that sucks.
I think he ended up getting a drive-through also.
Yeah. Well, you had a good race.
Yes, I think this has been the hardest race in both races. I'm all sweat up, like
Yeah.
I have run a marathon.
There were a lot of drive-through penalties. So I would imagine staying on track seemed not the easiest.
Yeah, I think that's pretty common in this track. I'm more in the 45-minute race.
Yeah.
Practicing during the week, I got a drive-through just on 3 laps into a public race.
I think.
So I think yeah, it's quite difficult to stay on track.
Yeah. And I guess we can move on here to Lamlin. Lamlin, you got anything to say?
I guess we squeaked out a podium overall.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I thought you drove very well.
Man, those Hondas. Rivera's just an animal since he switched from the Beamer to the NSX. Can't touch him anymore. We used to be in the same league, Ricardo, and now you're like 7/10 faster all the time.
You know that before the race when we were practicing with Gage, I was telling him I want Lamlin to race today. I had
Oh,
pretty good
that's
fights
fun.
with him.
I know, man. I guess I know the Honda is strong at most tracks now. I haven't tried driving the Honda there, but yeah, it was a fun race. A lot of traffic. You gotta love when there's 40 cars on the grid. So good job to the front runners. I didn't see how I ended up taking tires in the second race and somehow got third. So there must have been some carnage at the front.
Yeah.
Mm,
Not really, actually. Wait, no, yeah, there wasn't. I think there was a spin, but only a minor one. There's a little bit of contact.
Okay, so nothing crazy. I just assumed that I'd probably lose out on a position or two by taking tires, but in the end, I think it was good because the Beamer was falling off pretty hard. I don't know how the Honda was holding up.
so I was the only one to not take tires of the front runners.
Well, and you won the race, so sounds like it worked
Yeah.
out.
I jumped Patber on the pit entry. He was like 6 seconds in front of me, and I gained him. I jumped like 2.3 seconds in front, but he with new tires catch me like in 3 to 4 laps.
And then you just had to defend hard for the rest of the race.
I was defending hard. He passed me on the straight, and then with like 2 3 laps remaining, he had an incident with a bug marker.
Oh man. Well, it was a lot of fun, guys. What's the track next week?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, we'll figure that out. And we'll have fun
Batters.
either way. So
Next track is Batters, but I don't know if
it's Bathurst?
it's free the next weekend or no.
I have the thing on my desktop, but I can't quite open it right now.
Let me see.
Anyways,
Next race is the 23.
okay. And Provolone, do you end up in first for your division?
nice.
Yeah, I think I did.
Awesome. Seems like you've been driving that Porsche very solid this season.
Yeah, I've never driven it before, but it's a lot of fun. Starting to really click with it.
Seems like you're keeping up with the split one drivers.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Well, it seems like your goal is going very well.
Jason,
Provolone.
are you still driving with no force feedback?
Yeah,
Oh my.
yeah.
So yeah, when Jason ponies up and gets that DD, you guys are in trouble.
Yeah, I might get that Moza bundle. I don't know yet.
Yeah, well, Provolone, man, a few words. Love to hear it. Calcoon, how's it going? Where's I'm assuming you're Aaron Kuhn, right?
Yeah, yep, that's me.
Great race, honestly.
Thank you. Yeah, a little bit of trouble at the beginning and a little bit of a spin about halfway through the race, just due to my own poor driving. But yeah, overall, it turned out pretty good.
You had a lot of battles throughout that entire race.
Yeah, I did actually. That was a lot of fun. I know Provolone and I there at the end, Sapien and I there towards the end as well. Kind of got into it. I think I bumped into Provolone, but yeah, it was fun racing for sure.
Yeah, man, that was a lot of fun there at the end. If there was one more lap, you would have caught me. You would have passed me.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell. I don't know if your tires were going out or something, but
Well, yeah,
yeah,
Chrono actually had overtaken me a couple laps before for the Div 2 lead. And then the lap after, I had a big slide, so my left side tires, probably both of them were flat spotted.
gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense because
But
I was
then,
back quite a bit.
yeah, but then Chrono got the drive through late, so that opened it up for us.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
was a good race.
Yeah, and speaking of Sapien sneaking onto the podium at the very end there.
I'm gonna complain about the result. I'll take it.
Yeah, that was
It was fun.
Yeah, man.
solid driving all around, good battles, and then, I mean, a very deserved podium, honestly.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun with the night race. Hopefully we see more of them in the future, but it was fun.
Yeah, and if anyone else have any other closing statements they'd like to say about it? Eric?
No, it was fun.
See Eric's in here. Eric, do you have anything you'd like to say?
No, just hope everyone had fun. Mixed feelings about Misano across the grid. Some liked, some
Yeah.
pro, some against, but I think it's a fun track and looked like the front pack was extremely tight. So nice to see those fast guys have someone to play with.
Yeah, awesome. So here, I think we're going to, let me just double check. I think these guys are not going to be live anymore. But thanks everyone for joining us in this race tonight.
Do you want me to find someone to raid?
I got it.
Okay.
I was going to raid someone, but it looks like they are no longer going to be. So we can send it over here to Papa Dopless. Oh man, that's tough on my brain.
And I was actually gonna suggest him. He's really chill dude.
Awesome. Well, so we got a really chilly dude. He's burning rubber and driving horribly, allegedly. Looks like he's going to be doing some Brands Hatch. So send the raid over to them. And I hope everyone has a great night. Thanks everyone for joining. See you guys next week.